We are live. Hello, sir.
This is what my presentation was in October with regards to any infrastructure things.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Kind of been in contact with us a little bit here and there.
Okay, for our gateway plan update.
Would you mind looking at this every once in a while, see if we have anybody?
Make us a party.
Upset the apple cart.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Have you done, have you rolled my one down? So it's good coming now that the pieces there at Maple Heights, that's coming down the hill is good. Oh, you go up there? From Sagamore? Okay, that's interesting too. Yes. Yes.
I don't know if they can see that.
We can.
Yeah, we can see it.
I don't know if you angled it. a
Can we
little
angle
bit
that a little bit
Sure.
that way, so just, if they're
Towards the
interested,
camera.
towards the, can you guys see it if you're interested in it? This gentleman's from the Cuyahoga County.
From here, you can't.
Here, come sit here.
I was looking here. You can see it slightly.
Yeah.
But if you can tilt it a little bit more that
Yeah,
way.
it's gonna be fine
And
for
yeah, I'll just
us.
scoot over a few.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, there's pretty good glare on it, so I don't know.
Is there? Okay, well, yeah, that happened. Here, let's try this. Well, I'll turn the lights off when we,
Okay.
and then maybe it'll,
Okay.
there, yeah, that works. Good evening, everybody. This is March 3rd, 2026, 6 o'clock p.m., the Village of Walton Hills Infrastructure Committee meeting. All committee members are here. Brian Spitznagel, that's me, Councilwoman Jennifer Allen, and Council President Pro Tem Raymond Whedon is here. We've got some members in the audience, council members in the audience, also Fred Nielsen and Diane Canzoni. And we've got Mr. Rob Kalman, our street commissioner here, Mr. Joe Gelati, our village engineer. They're going to be talking about the 2026 upcoming year events that are going on in the village as far as infrastructure is concerned. And we have a special guest tonight from Cuyahoga County Planning Commission, Mr. Jim Sonhalter. Did I pronounce your name correctly, sir?
Exactly right, thank you.
All right. If there are no, nothing from the committee right now, we'd like to just start with Mr. Sonhalter and his presentation.
All right.
And this is for county programs that can help municipalities
Yeah.
and that. Okay, thank you very much. Go ahead, you have the floor, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I'm Jim Sonhalter, and I'm a planning manager, and I oversee design and implementation for the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission. And here to talk to you tonight about our Community Planning Services Program. It's one of many things that we offer through county planning and designed to benefit communities like yours.
I don't have.
So to tell you a little bit about us and about the program, what we're trying to achieve through it, where it's been. We've actually been doing this program for about 10 years now. And one of our staff is kind of putting together the history of it and put out a survey to see how it's been working for everyone who's participated in it. We'll talk about program eligibility and what you need to know about it. I provided hard copies of the application manual and the application itself. And those are also available online. And full disclaimer, I did give you copies of the 2025 versions, so some things aren't quite official yet because we haven't released it for this year. So I'll tell you what kind of projects we've typically awarded, and a little more what this is going to look like as we look toward this year's cycle, and then happy to take questions and answers. So county planning, we're an independent agency. We're not a county department, so we report to a board, and we provide professional planning services to all the 59 communities in the county. Through this program, also through fee-for-service, and again, it's offering professional planning services. We do zoning code updates, master plans, corridor studies. I've been heavily involved in the Cuyahoga Greenways Plan, which your village is, smack in the middle of, a lot of green. I oversaw the Lakefront Public Access Plan, and again, we do a lot of work with zoning and active transportation planning in general. So we want to inspire all of our communities to thrive. This is a very participatory process. Our goal is to get communities talking amongst themselves and really, let us know where you want to go as a community. Where do you want to be in 5, 10 years? So with that, it's all about improving the quality of life, social, economic, environmental health through equitable community planning. And our core values, we are very inclusive, collaborative. We fully believe in keeping everybody informed of the process, and we're accountable. We say what we're going to do, and we work with communities to not just give you a plan to look at, but we don't want it to sit on a shelf. We want you to put it to work. So it's a very active document. This is how we're set up. Our board is comprised of 11 mayors and county council persons representing planning regions all around the county. Mary Serby is our executive director, and everyone at the top is our management structure, business services, human HR and accounting, geographic information systems, mapping, data, census, research. As I said, I've got design and implementation in with my crew. Patrick, planning manager for strategy and development, so we're looking at housing, we're looking at zoning, a lot of different initiatives there. And Susan manages issue 1, our DOPWIC, so you're all very familiar with that, and the Natural Resource Assistance Council. So this looks very vertical and stratified, but the way we work, I've got folks from everybody's team on my team, and we're all in one big space. We all work together. So any given project could have people from all over this chart. You can check us out at countyplanning.us. Somehow when we got the domain, nobody else had county planning, so we have to get that. We're easy to find. And we keep all of our work online, and when you do projects with us, we have a dedicated project webpage with dialogue boxes. We post drafts of all the work and public meeting results on there so everyone can stay informed. So again, our primary goal is offering the best professional planning services we can to all of our communities. And it's all about best practices. What is happening out in the world of planning across the country that has relevance to communities here in Cuyahoga. And we work with the best. We have a very, very smart team, but our greatest asset are the communities we work with, because you're here doing this every day. We want to learn about your community and really where you want your community to go, and we say, okay, let's work together on this. We'll put together long and short range goals that match your priorities and needs. And it's, our whole goal of planning is to prepare all of our client communities for development. Growth is just getting bigger. Development, as we hope, is getting better. So do your planning and zoning aspirations, are they a match? Are you zoned for this, but you really want that? Let's help get things moving in the right direction. And, we found that the greatest advantage of doing a plan at all is, we all apply for grants. And when the first thing as you're going through a grant application is like, do you have a plan for that? It's like, sure we do. It's on page 5. Look at this. And you include that with whether you're going for Ohio Department of Natural Resources or federal grants. Everybody wants to know the story of your community and what you're doing to further it. So we've been doing this, like I said, for just over 10 years now. We've worked with, we've awarded 42 of these applications years, we didn't do it during COVID. And then it felt like we were really making up for lost time. And some projects that were really put on hold, so we're caught up with everything now. But of the 59 communities, just through this program, we've worked with 31 communities, but we've touched nearly all of them, because we also do fee-for-service contracts. We'll do zoning map updates, we'll do zoning code updates, just things that don't necessarily require a full master plan approach, but we can get through, get done very quickly. Eligibility. All of the 59 communities are eligible to apply, including those that previously received awards. We've had a number of repeat customers. Like, we loved what you did with the master plan. We want you to look at our parks now. But cities, villages, and township, you have to be the primary applicant. But we also encourage you to partner with other groups. Here it could be Cleveland Metro Parks, National Park Service, neighboring communities, and then just put that all together into one. And when we say, if you've done a master plan over, within the last 10 years, don't apply for another master plan. Wait a couple more years and then go for that. So, and again, if you're putting together an application, you want to do your project, how does that complement regional plans? How well does it dovetail with what National Park Service or Cleveland Metro Parks or your neighbors are doing? Other bigger regional strategic initiatives, like the Cuyahoga County Greenway Plan, for example. Lakefront Public Access Plan, it's a neat plan, probably doesn't apply to you much, but it's worth checking out. We're doing a lot of work with transit-oriented development zoning, basically looking at heavily used transit corridors, and using those to reimagine how streets and economic development can look if you're really focused on transit. And we're also looking across the county at single-family zoning and a unified zoning code. It was just in the news, planning news anyway, that the Euclid v. Ambler Realty case that upheld the constitutionality of zoning is 100 years old this year. And that's all single-use zoning. You're going to put commercial here, you're going to put apartments here, single-family here. What that has led to is just sprawl, basically, because you have to build a massive street system to connect everything. So this is all about, how can we come up maybe with more efficient uses of land, whether it's mixed-use zoning. So we're having a look at that. And other things to consider in this application, we do have cost sharing. Historically, it's been 20%. We're bumping that up to 50% this year. And just to give you an idea, a typical master plan could cost $125,000 to $150,000 over an 18-month process. I know this isn't great reading. That's why I brought the hard copies here. But and these will be posted online when we're ready to do. And how we'll announce this is we'll send email notification to all the mayors, development directors, planning directors, sometimes service directors get them too, letting you know that we're rolling this out. And for a 2-week period, my phone and email is open for Q&A. If you have a question about a project or something you want to propose, that's the time to talk to me about it. And then from the moment we release this, you've got 4 to 5 weeks to submit your application. But up until the time we release it, I'm open for questions anytime. So if you have ideas, let's talk. So also, these are eligible activities from last year: community master plans, TOD, corridor studies, whole list of things that we've done. Our office has gotten very busy, so with capacity being an issue, we're having another look at how we're doing things. But this is the variety of applications that were received. A few master plans, small business district plans, actually 5 master plans total. A park plan for Orange Village, streetscaping plans, so all sorts of different things. And we pull everything in, we put together a scoring committee, we discuss all these with staff, and then management comes together for scoring and with considering all staff's comments. So, detailed project description, how well are you, articulating the story here, and what with the project you want to do. Engagement capacity and support, can you do what you're proposing to do? Project impact, is it going to be just in one small part of the community? Is it going to affect the whole community, maybe your neighbors too? And is this really reaching everybody in your community for diversity, equity, and inclusion? So these are the projects we awarded last year. Bedford Master Plan. Lakewood is doing a public art master plan. If you've ever driven down Madison Avenue or Detroit, you'll see all the murals and sculptures. They've got a massive inventory, and they're thinking, well, what do we do next? So that's what that plan is about. Bedford is reimagining its downtown and the connections to the Emerald Necklace and Metro Parks Reservation. Orange Village is looking at their relationship to the South Chagrin Reservation, and they also have a big park system within their community. So they're doing a signage and wayfinding plan for that. And then Valley View is also doing a full master plan update as well. So we awarded those last year. We're anticipating completing these, June, September this year. All this whole slate will be complete and ready for the next year. So things we're considering for this year, just knowing that we're wrapping up that slate of plans, that we're doing the Greenways update, Unified Zoning Code, other plans of big regional impact. We may be limiting ourselves to just 2 community master plans this year, but we're still talking that out. But this is where we landed as of last week. So, and this is draft, but it's probably going to be pretty solid. Setting out this schedule to kind of avoid all the holidays. It's after Easter, so 2 weeks for Q&A. A couple weeks after that, the applications are due. It's Friday by 3, and then a month later, we'll be announcing all of the awardees. So with that, I guess 15 minutes, and here we are.
Okay to turn the lights on?
Yeah. So yeah, happy to take any questions you have.
Mr. Reed? Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sonhalter, we currently have a master plan that is 25 years old. So that would be what for us? I mean,
You're long overdue for a master plan update,
Okay.
yes.
so it would be a new revision.
Yes.
And would you consult the old master plan that we had, or just start from scratch?
We would do that. We would talk with community leadership, and is this the direction, what here still applies?
Mm-hmm.
Given over the course of 25 years, let's just say everything's changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a matter of where do you want to start? Where's your 0, 0 point?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. And my question comes back to the master plan and also, but there were a couple of other bullet points in there that caught my eye. One was business district redevelopment plan, and then the what was the re-imaging? Something I missed it. But the question is,
Yeah.
Does a master plan, will it encompass all of that, including the business district?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that answers my
Yeah,
question.
with the master plan, we'll look
Covers
at
it all.
commercial, residential, industrial, office,
Okay.
what you have, transportation systems, park systems, you name it.
Okay, and then can you talk a little bit about the zoning code updates that you guys work on?
We love zoning code updates to come on the heels of a master plan.
Okay.
Because you've gone through this exercise of thinking how you want your community's land uses to be reorganized or just organized in general. So that's a good time to look at your zoning code too. And we'll do, a quick analysis of your zoning code as we're just, doing a deep dive into what your community looks like, how it's structured. And just say, okay, here are places where the zoning code doesn't match the existing land use, or even a planned land use if it's still undeveloped.
Okay.
You have a question. We've had talks in the recent past. Mr. Kalman has put in for a grant for our T.G. Young Park for we have a walking trail to which we were not successful in getting, unfortunately. But there's been resident input, questions regarding if we can take those walking trails and meet them up with Metro Park trails. So I noticed you do some park, green space planning and things like that. Would things like that be charged to the village if we wanted you to do something like that, like a master plan would be?
Those are, if you wanted to do that as a standalone project, we can talk about that. If it's something that you would want to weave into an overall master plan, we can look at, how is this connected to your neighborhoods, to your schools, business districts? What do the connections look like to the surrounding metro parks? And what we're doing right now with the Cuyahoga Greenways update is we're establishing standards that go start at U.S. Department of Transportation and defining facility types. Is it a side path that's completely outside of the right-of-way? If it's within the right-of-way, what kind of bike lane is it? And then what standards apply? Because we want to be, knowing that plan we wrapped up in 2019 after working on it for 2 years, a lot of standards have changed from the federal to state level. So we just want to be sure that, as communities are applying for funding, as they're designing, that we're all looking at the same types of standards. So your paths within your city parks, maybe those are 6 feet wide, but a standard metro park trail, that's going to be 10. So, do you want to match that, or so that it meets our greenway standards, or is it good enough and then you connect to the larger system?
Okay. And how do the council people get on the email list for notification?
As part of a project process?
Or,
just-
yeah, or,
just-
you mentioned you email mayors,
just
you email.
notify.
Yeah,
If you want to be added to that list, we have a big Excel spreadsheet that we use, so we can just add everybody to it.
and how would we contact? Just contact the countyplanning.us?
You can just send me an email today and
Oh, okay.
just say add us to your distribution list.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sonhalter, I saw a line in there too that said 1 application per community.
Yeah.
Is that per year? Is that forever? Is that per 10 years?
That is.
You were talking about
Just one.
possibly
in one-
collaborating.
In one grant cycle, just
Okay.
one application. per
Okay.
community.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
I have a larger spreadsheet that tracks all the applications we've received and awarded since we started this program. It's about that wide. And we've got multiple applicants.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Mr. Kalman, Mr. Gelati, do you have any questions for him?
No.
Does any residents have any questions? Okay, well, thank you so very much for coming in tonight, and spending
for
your
having
time
me
with
in.
us. We appreciate that, and we will use, I can guarantee you, we're gonna use the county planning in some aspect in the near future, I would imagine.
I can also send you this presentation.
Please do.
Yes.
And I know, from what you said, the master plan, the cost of master plans have gone up significantly since we did it 20 years ago. Yeah, so,
Yeah, we are really set up like a consulting firm, but just
Right.
public sector. So we have billable rates from everyone from a planning intern up to
Sure.
an executive director. So we'll put together a whole project budget, and that's based on, which staff are contributing to it. So there's a whole work plan, and it's phased and tasked and everything. So that way it helps us track, our expenditures on a new project.
Sure.
And keep it in line.
well, thank you very much for coming in, sir. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, while Mr. Sonhalter is preparing to leave us, and you're welcome to stay. Nobody ever takes us up on that one. Tell them you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We'll move on to Joe Gelati. He's our village engineer. And he's going to talk to us about the updated roads plan.
Couldn't pass this out earlier, but wait a chance, so I'll take a moment now.
Thank you very much.
You got it?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having these. And especially for printing it so we can read it.
Thank you, Rob. Whenever you're ready. Yep.
All right, let's go forward. So, I don't want to take up too much time here this evening, like leave my colleague a little bit of time here as well. And I know we have an adjourned certain time here at 7, so you guys have a copy of our usual running 5-year infrastructure plan document. And I guess in the essence of time, I'm going to flip forward to 2027, and we can chat just for a couple minutes about what lies ahead potentially here in the future for our village. And if you flip to the page for 2027, in the middle of the document under complete resurfacing of roads, we have Andrus, Connolly, and Rawlin. They're potentially slated for 2027. And as you probably remember, the yellow highlighter indicates that there is a grant application pending. So that's what we have for Andrus, Connolly, and Rawlin, those 3 streets being paved together. I can't guarantee that we will receive that grant, but I can tell you that currently we are ranked in the top 5 for OPWC small government, and historically the top 5 ranked projects have always received funding. We won't know for sure until about May is usually each year when the final results are released. And if those results are in our favor and we are awarded the $293,000 for those 3 roads, then we would firmly schedule paving those 3 roads for 2027. And the only other item I'd like to touch on, and we did discuss this last month here in this room, 2028 sheet, if you flip forward one, the big add to that sheet is of course Dunham Road. As you know, recently we submitted a grant application request to the county for $250,000. So we would expect over the next month or 2 to find out the results of that request. And if successful, then the next step in this grand plan for Dunham Road would then be to do a grant request to OPWC. And at this point, I've planned it in there for $250,000, just because that seems like just about the right amount of money, given the scoring where we historically land. Our ask would be approximately $250,000 as we try to add together multiple outside funding sources to help us pay for Dunham Road. It's a long road and a big dollar amount, we know that. So that's it. That's really all I wanted to touch on for the committee here this evening, just so you know what lies ahead in future years here potentially for the village. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Gelati. So for 26, is
Yes.
everything moving forward as planned?
Yes, it is, correct.
Okay. So for 26, village expenditures, So we've got a total cost of infrastructure, road maintenance of $2,379,400 just for the residents in the back. Net village expenditure, because our engineering firm is very adept at going for grants. $600,500. Village costs for this year, and next year $347,000, and then 417,000 net village expenditure for those years. So you say this year is on track and everything is
That is correct,
good to
yes.
go? And Ryan Estates, when are they planning on?
Yeah, so we plan to go out to bids a little bit later this spring for summer construction for Ryan Drive.
Okay, very good. Does anybody else have any questions for?
I do.
Ms. Allen?
Yes, Joe, I had a resident contact me about Ryan and Kaylee. And they said that they were originally told that there were funds that were put into an account, so when the last house was built, those funds were sitting there. They were told this by a village official. You could probably figure out around the time of that development, I don't know who, but they were promised that those funds were put into a separate account so that that road could be finished when all the construction was done. Do you know anything about that?
I've never heard that. That would seem unusual for a local municipality to handle funds like that for development in that manner.
Okay.
Seems unusual. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I tried looking up what I could,
Yeah,
but,
you would think there would be documentation
right,
that we would all have on
Right.
that if that was the case, so probably a no.
Mr. Reed?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gelati, I have a couple questions. One is, should be probably a short answer, and that's just an update on the 2025 project, South Meadow Park Culvert.
Yeah, so 2025, all those projects are complete except for South Meadow Park Drive culvert and also this storm sewer replacement right here on Alexander. We need to finish in the springtime with grass restoration for this project. Also on South Meadow Park, there's grass restoration to do and also some pavement repair that needs to take place there as well. Of course, these are all weather dependent items. So.
The other question I have is going 2026 project, the big one.
Yeah.
The Northfield Road sidewalk installation,
Yes.
that big project.
Yes.
And I believe you sent, I don't know if you were at last meeting or you sent notice that it probably summerish kind of start to that project?
Yes, ODOT has what they call a sale date, or we would call it a bid date of May 2nd, I believe. And on ODOT's website, I believe they list August as the start of construction date.
Okay. Then the other question I had related to that, I know, and we had some discussion a long time ago regarding sidewalk maintenance, especially during the winter months. And the discussion kind of went toward, you know, the responsibility would be of the property owners, the businesses along the way. Of course, you know, Walton Hills has a little property up there ourselves, so we'll have to do something up there. Can you touch on that again? Is that still the case, that all the property owners are aware that responsibility of keeping that sidewalk for safety's sake is going to be their responsibility?
Yeah, so short answer is that yes, it is the case. You know, every property owner is responsible for their tree lawn. We did have in the right-of-way acquisition process, we did have a couple of property owners ask that question, and we gave them that answer. It says, you know, it's your tree lawn, basically, so you're responsible for it, just like always. We've had some conversations about exactly how we may want to handle that as a village separately from the actual construction of the sidewalk project, so. But, you know, I always say, or we've talked about this before in this room, you know, my initial thought is that we should stick to that approach, that the property owners are responsible for the tree lawn, sidewalk, whatever it may be. If we as a village want to do something in addition to that, we have that right.
Okay. So, and again, with the district, I mean, the village having some property up there, should we be prepared to, you know, how do we prepare ourselves to handle our, you know, even though it may sell later, we still own it now. How do we prepare ourselves for, winter comes every year?
Yeah, so, I don't know if you wanna speak to this or you'd like me to, but,
We can get Rob a
We-
nice new shovel.
yeah, that's what we'll do, so.
I'll be happy to speak.
Go for it.
Okay. My outlook on it's a little bit different than Joe's. We don't always agree. But he is correct. In our code, it says it's the responsibility of each individual property owner. I don't see that happening. Not that they won't do it, but this is a grant we received from the state for safety. And we know that we've had some incidences up there on Northfield Road due to the draw of the casino. And if this just keeps rolling through my head, if everybody plays the game the way it's laid out, and Cummins clears their sidewalk at 5 a.m., but Hogan Trucking doesn't clear their sidewalk till 9. We received all this money for a grant to provide safety, and we're gonna have people walking in the street again. My recommendation would be to purchase the equipment needed to maintain the sidewalk. That's where I'm at. I don't see everybody going out there and cleaning their sidewalk at the same time. I mean, they will leave it to their snowplow contractor, I would assume, and that's who would do it, and would be at different times, so it doesn't meet with the bus schedule, where somebody's getting dropped off over by Fuel Mart, and then they're trying to walk. I just don't see that as being the reality. So my request would be to purchase the equipment needed to maintain it.
Mr. Calvin, could you, I know you have you have a rolling, may not, I don't know if it's 5 year, but you have a rolling equipment need, and you know, we see that every year it comes up. Is there something in your plan as a fallback, or you know, whatever, for us to be prepared as a municipality?
So a couple of years ago when we received this, I priced out a piece of equipment. So this price is 2 years old. I looked for my paperwork, unfortunately, I didn't find it, but it would be a multi-purpose unit. You know, we currently have a tractor up at the park that's a 1991. I mean, it still works, but it could be replaced. So the unit I looked at and I priced out can have it's like a miniature loader. You can have a loader bucket on it, you can have a bunch of different attachments on it, but the primary reason, you could have a plow, and it would plow that sidewalk up there. That unit was $85,000. So, and that, like I said, that bit's, this is the third year of this. That was 2 years ago that I priced that out. I honestly, the initial response when this was in the early planning was, well, each property owner's gonna maintain it themselves. With the needs of the department, that kind of took a back burner, and that's why I kept presenting the other equipment needs these last 2 years. So,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Gelati? Any questions from the audience?
I have one more.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I did have one more question for you, and this is in a general question on the water resource improvements and the sewer, sanitary sewer inspection projects. Are there you see any more projects coming out of the inspections that have been done so far?
Yeah, so thankfully, or the good news is, the sanitary sewer inspections we've done in '24 and '25 have really yielded no significant issues. We don't foresee any significant issues or any significant public works projects that would have to be done to correct anything with our sanitary sewer system. So I view that as good news.
It is very good news.
Yes, yes. So, and this has been a nice project. I think it's a proactive way for us as a village to, you know, try to identify some of these problems before they become a real problem. But so far, we've identified none. So.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes?
Just one thing, Joe, I forgot to mention when I said about the funds, the only thing that I could possibly deduce was that at that time, we had infrastructure money sitting.
Yeah, perhaps.
It actually sounds like something from the construction side. I don't know about a separate account, maybe somebody drew that conclusion, but if you're building development, you run the binder down, and then the builder sets aside money for where, of course, your finished top coat at the end of the construction of all.
Okay.
So, I mean, that would be a builder thing, or or the builder pulls a bond also to protect that. So that's, when you're saying that, that's what's coming to my mind.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm not familiar, never heard of separate accounts that
Okay.
do that.
Yeah, me either.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, well, thank you for putting this on big paper rather than
My
giving us a
pleasure.
small paper. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Go ahead.
Just a quick comment.
Yeah.
The only other question I had was about the potential 2029, but we've got time to talk.
Yeah, I don't wanna get too far.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yep, we'll populate it soon though.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Mr. Kalman.
The only thing that I prepared for this evening was what I presented to you in October, which was my equipment request for the service department, which would be the chassis mounted leafer and a new chipper. And I think I said this at council during the budget time, that can be, I guess, a couple stock units finally were delivered, but it can be up to 1 year build time. If we were to use the lease option, you can postpone the first payment to a year after you receive it. So like if we were looking at a 1 year build time and we didn't get it till 27, and we receive it in 27, you can postpone it, the first payment, an additional year. So I just wanted to throw that out there too.
I think that's something, I hate to see that go by the wayside, especially since you were successful in getting contributions from NERSD and State Highway 21 Fund. That's nothing to sneeze at, $200,000 worth. So we are watching the finances from Mrs. Sell coming in, and I'm hopeful that we can order this stuff. I really am. Do you have any indication from NERSD or the State Highway when, is there any limitation in time as far as their?
The state highway that I listed there, that's actually in our fund currently, and as of right now,
Yeah,
we're not using it on anything else. The NERSD, there wasn't a limit on that when we spoke to her as far as the time limit. It was a question I asked, and
right.
she,
Yeah, you can apply at any time.
you can
I
apply
think
at any
is-
time.
Correct.
Is
So,
what you're trying to say.
yeah.
Just for everybody's edification, a new leafer is $300,000, and the brush chipper is $60,000. So this is high-cost equipment that we're looking at purchasing, and Mr. Kalman went out and got this $100,000 off, contribution from NEORSD, so that was very good. With the advent of the development up there with the Great Day Improvement, Cardinal Health, and whoever else may go in there, I'm hopeful that we start to see more funds come in. I know we are starting to see more funds come in, but over and above what we're expecting, like we did last year, and we can get this ordered, because the village really needs it. And one thing about that leafer, it takes, what do we have on a current leafer, the crew, 4?
Yes.
And it'll take it down to 1, correct? Maybe 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah, so
I mean, 1
we've
for
got,
sure, you need a driver, 2 is.
and with our limited resources in the service department, as far as personnel, we can have them doing other things also,
Yes.
so. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Kellerman?
I do, Mr. Chair. Rob, I know we've talked about this before, and this is infrastructure, not exactly what the topic is, but can you touch base really quick about, is there anything we can do about homes in this village that look so dilapidated? We know they are not occupied, but the property taxes are being paid. I know one of them is the Metro Parks property,
State, that's National Park.
National Park, so there's basically nothing we can do with boarded up windows and a chain link across the
I
driveway.
recommended they sell it, and they said no. I kind of hit a brick wall with that one, because there were cutbacks that happened during this new administration, even though locally it was reported that they lost 2 people in Cotton Valley. So when the manager called me, because I kept rattling, I'm like, you can't have this in our community. He's like, you need to call your congressman because of our cutbacks. I said, you lost 2 people. He's like, well, it's been downsizing for years. So, I don't know, they were able to buy billboards all over downtown talking about the cutbacks, but they can't cut the grass. So, the frustration is shared. With that one. The other ones, I have items going into the season that I have to speak with Mr. Smirgan about maybe helping me with some direction. I do know that there's 2 other homes on Dunham Road that I have sitting in Garfield Court that keep getting kicked down months at a time. So, I mean,
Right,
I'm
we
kind
have,
of handcuffed.
we have 2 on Alexander that have busted out windows that only the neighbors can see, with the raccoons climbing in and out. It's not obvious from the street, but,
Well, and the thing is on something like that, if the neighbors see raccoons coming in and out, and I can walk on the neighbor's property, if they invite me on the property, I'd be happy to take pictures. I'm just saying, where my frustration lies, is I have 2 sitting in Garfield Court that nothing is being done with them
Sure.
right now. It keeps getting kicked down. Just, okay, we'll see you in March, or we'll see you in February, we'll see you in March, and last week it just got kicked to June. So, that's everything I can do on my end. Preemptively, because, when it's nice, everybody's looking outside, because our warnings, our letters can, maximum is 45 days that we can give somebody to make improvements. I preemptively in the fall, because looking forward to spring, people start calling, what about this, what about that? I preemptively sent a bunch of letters out. You will get a violation letter in March, and you will have 45 houses that need painted, houses that need power washed. I sent those out in the fall, letting people know that they were gonna get, but these are also repeat offenders that, we pay almost $10 for certified mail. Again, per the code, I have to send it certified. I feel like I'm wasting money, because I did this when I started here in 2012. There's people I've been working on since 2012. So I feel like we're wasting the village's money sending it, but we have to do something. Anyways, that was my long-winded response. I apologize.
that's okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Go
Just a
ahead.
quick, this probably won't take a long-winded response. Projected date that brush chipping begins this spring?
Second week of April.
2nd week of April, thank you.
Publicized the third, but we usually sneak out a week early.
Okay, I won't tell anybody.
Nobody heard that. I think a question, one thing I'd like to comment I'd like to make before we wrap up on my stuff is, I think it'd be worth asking Matt Stu if the equipment would be eligible for the maintenance on that corridor, that snow removal equipment on that corridor. That may be a,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for TIF money, something to think about.
Mhm.
When we talk about that development supporting some,
Right.
improvements as a direct route, that I think would be probably worth asking.
Sure, good idea.
That's all.
Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Kalman? Anybody from the audience?
No,
Huh?
nothing on that.
Anybody in there? Go ahead, sir. You have to come up to the microphone because it's being, state your name and the address.
My name's Todd Trockley. I own a home with my wife Jennifer on Westlake Drive.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know where that is, if you pull out of here, you turn left. It's about 500 yards on the right. So right next to City Hall, and we don't even know what sidewalks are. The only concrete we have is on our driveway.
Mhm.
So the issue is all 4 homeowners that live on Westlake Drive are also here. I've talked to Rob a couple times. He told me that our street is a private street. I believe, Robin, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the first time I spoke to you, about 5-6 months ago maybe, that the city did come to us at one time, not us, but then they were gonna do it, but the people didn't want to give up the frontage at that time to pave the road, or?
So,
Can
not,
can you put the mic towards you? Thank you.
I don't know if the village ever wanted to do it.
Right.
It's just, I know in other situations like this with a gravel lane,
Right.
that they did not want it paved. So was it specific to Westlake, Eastlake? No, but
Okay.
I do know that, factually, Linda Lane did not want to be paved.
Okay, well, I can say, I believe Daryl, you've lived, how long have you lived there? 27 years. Have you ever been a?
First off, I'm trying to, who knows?
Hold on, you can't speak from the back,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
You
I'm
have to
sorry.
come up and state your name and,
It's
Address.
because it's recorded, so that's why
yeah, it's
it
because
has.
it's
My
recorded.
question was, have you ever been approached by anyone in the city to pave the road?
No. Well, first, the question is, who stated that it's a private road? Where is it written? I've never seen it, as long as I've been
May
here.
I?
Go ahead.
Chair. So, it has its, just like your home has a parcel ID, it has its own parcel ID and it has its own owner. So it's private property, it's not held by the village.
So when it's not held by the village, that means that the street is our responsibility
Yes.
for every plow,
Well,
something
so,
get damaged?
Mr. Grisham, what happened many years ago, and I said to Todd here, if it was up to me, I would not put one of our public vehicles on a private drive. It's no different than me pulling in somebody's driveway. Years ago, the decision was made for rescue vehicles that we should drop a plow and make sure it's cleared. It wasn't even a handshake. It was, you know what, these people, we have residents that live back there, we should plow it. I don't really agree with it. If there's a, like a homeowners association or something else that it's private, it should be maintained by the homeowners. But since it's something we've always done, and I can't disagree with the safety aspect of it, that's what we do. We continue to patch potholes that get real bad, and we plow the lanes.
With that being said, how did it become a private drive? Number one, I've never even heard of something like this. And I would ask everybody here, when you leave here tonight, you can pull, my driveway's the furthest down, and it's perfect weather. And imagine doing that every single day, driving down the road, never being able to wash your car. It's despicable. And do we pay city tax? Do we pay the same amount of tax as somebody that's 2 streets down that has a concrete road? And do they have to call their son on Thursday night to come over to help me pick up my garbage cans and put them in the back of my truck so I can take them a quarter mile down the end of the road? I mean, it is unfathomable what we're going through. And I know no one was here when this backdoor handshake thing took place, but it doesn't smell right. So I want to dig in more. I want to see when it was given up. If I have to get legal representation, I will. If I got to go to the TV stations and bring them out, I will. It is embarrassing that we can't even keep a clean car. We don't even, you're talking about sidewalks. We don't even know what that is.
Mr. Spitznagel, if I could, just for the clarity of the
Yeah.
committee, the parcel in which the private drive is located on is owned by Terrace Springs Lake Association.
That's what I pulled up
And
last
none of
night.
them even live on that street.
Well, wait a minute, it doesn't matter I own property that I don't live on, okay? And many people do.
Right.
I pulled that up last night, because I got the same email from Mr. Kelman as you did, so I was interested in finding out who actually owned it, and it is, do you pay an association fee every year?
I believe Jennifer does.
So you do?
Yeah.
And part of that fee goes to pay for taxes, because this is the tax payment on that. It's $50.94 a quarter. So you pay Terrace Springs Lake Association, which is the owner. And does anybody know a Paul Masenko?
I talked to him yesterday.
Okay, he is on the tax mailing address. Apparently he's the treasurer. But the primary owner is Terrace Springs Lake Association. And it not only covers the front lake, but it covers the back lake that sits behind Walton Road.
Mr. Chairman?
That's who owns that. The village does not own that property. It's
They
not a
own-
village
so if
road.
They own another so the road is included in the property?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman?
yes.
Rob, if you could show them the photo you've got, you can actually see that property extends from Alexander over to Walton Road.
I understand that, but like I'm sure you guys bought a home, they didn't know.
I was never approached about any kind of an HOA or anything,
Well, do you pay?
not at all.
We moved in April of, 2024?
2024, and you pay nothing towards this?
No, we've
Absolutely
never
not.
been offered even.
That's interesting.
And the HOA funds that's paid normally, which is whatever, I think, what is it now?
150, yeah.
So it's went up to 150.
You know, and I'm not begrudging you anything. When I looked at this, I've looked at properties before in other municipalities, and to me, that looks like a shared driveway.
Correct.
More of a shared driveway than a road on both sides.
It's only a matter of time before one of the FedEx trucks, Amazon trucks go right in that pond. There should be a rail
The
along
road's already.
That's a private property.
there. That is-
If,
how is that?
you need to,
Okay, so
what
was
I
it
would
ever-
do,
Was it ever part of the city?
no, it was never part of Walton Hills.
Okay, so then my
Well, at
question
one
would be,
point,
why
it was
do we-
part of Walton Hills, but
So-
the property was bought by
It was,
this
bought-
terrace.
yeah,
So
it was
it's
just like
private
everybody
property.
else's property.
Right.
Why are we paying city tax, like someone 3 streets down that has a concrete road and can take their garbage cans by themselves? Now, why do we pay the same amount of taxes? And if that's the case, we shouldn't pay city tax.
Well, you have a
What are we
driveway,
paying?
don't you? You have a driveway, and that driveway leads out to Alexander Road somehow, right?
No, our driveway don't lead out to Alexander, a dirt road does, that's constantly mowed.
Then you get on, then how do you go anywhere on
We
Alexander
should have
Road?
lower taxes than
So-
someone who has a concrete road to take it to their
So,
house.
go ahead.
If,
Branches.
Well, hold on, we all can't talk at the same time. But please, one at a time.
Rob?
Sorry, just to your point of like.
Well, I mean, you have to identify yourself, sir.
Okay,
Sorry. No, that's
Thomas,
okay.
I live on
It's,
West
yeah,
Lake.
it's
Yep.
just,
I'm just like, to Todd's point, I mean, like, he doesn't have.
wait a minute,
front-
your name and address, please? I'm
Nick
sorry.
on Westlake Drive.
I'm sorry.
On
Nick?
Westlake Drive,
And your name?
Nick.
Nick, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, so to your point, like
Uh-huh.
Todd and the other guys in the back, they don't have frontage to Alexander.
Right.
They don't have the opportunity for branch pickup, for leaf pickup. And I've told, him that he can go through my yard, but,
Yeah.
like, I think it's just not fair that,
Well-
they don't have that frontage, they don't have the opportunity to use these city services.
Right.
So
Ha-
that's
have you-
another thing, just another point.
Have you driven up Linda Lane? Those
Yeah,
people are,
Absolutely,
those
yeah.
people are in the same situation.
yeah.
And that street goes back a little farther. It's an undedicated piece of property, and I know that's not the answer you want to hear. Mr. Gelati, he's the engineer. I know he wrote an email. Can you summarize that email for us?
Yeah, so that memo, somewhat similar, but a different question came up last summer, from some folks on Linda Lane.
Do we have any? Okay.
Yeah, and their request is a little bit different, or their question was a little bit different. Folks on Linda Lane, were asking how to get a road dedicated.
Yeah.
So that was the memo that I wrote, is the steps that need to take place to have a road dedicated to the village of Walton Hills. Basically, code states you have to build the road to what would be usual city standards. Pavement has to be 22 feet wide and 9 inches thick, and you have to have drainage and so on and so forth. But like I say, that question was different from their request here. It sounds like they're just asking, well, I'm not sure exactly what the request is, but they're not asking for the road to be dedicated.
They want the village to pave the road.
The request is that we move into 2026. We live across the street from this wonderful building. We have dirt roads in
Right.
2026. I've never heard of anything like this. It's absolutely insane, in my opinion. I know nobody was here probably when it happened, but it is a disgrace. I would be fine with gravel down there. I mean, gravel. Dude, just help us some way, somehow. I mean, we're paying the same tax as someone 2-3 streets down that have concrete roads. They can take their garbage cans. Every Thursday I call my son to come help me. That is ridiculous. I'm just telling you. So I'm not
I
done here.
understand.
If I have to go to legal counsel, I'm gonna do everything I can. Channel 8, Channel 3, Channel 5, I'm not done. It is 2026, and like I said, if you want to feel my frustration totally, tonight's a perfect chance for you to drive out here, turn left, go 500 yards, turn right, drive all the way to my driveway, and then come back. Then get home, look under your door, mud all over, and imagine doing that 365 days a year. It's ridiculous.
Mr. Whedon?
Yes, good evening to all of you, and I know Mr. Grisham's been here for a while, the others, welcome to the village. We feel your pain, we understand your frustration, and things that's been said tonight, one thing I have not heard is have you all had this discussion with the HOA? Have you had this discussion with Terrace Lake?
This discussion has happened many years. I'm not part of the HOA because they won't do anything.
But Terrace Lake, well, okay, just say the
So I'm
owner.
not gonna keep
Have-
asking.
He was like, you know,
Well, hold on,
Have this discussion.
people can't speak at the same time.
Have this discussion, this very passionate and understandable
Yes,
need been expressed to the property owner?
yes.
And every
Years,
single
many
person,
years.
every single person in the association, everyone, even people 3 streets over, would have to approve it if we wanted it done, and we would have to pay for it. So, again, it doesn't even have to be concrete. It could be blacktop. It could be rock. Give us something so that we can keep our cars clean. We can get through there. There should be a guardrail that goes along that water. I mean, it's unsafe, and that's gonna be what I use. It's gonna be unsafe. You know how many trucks come down and turn around there all the time? They're gonna go in that lake.
The problem is, from a municipal standpoint, it is illegal for us to do work on private property for the private property owner's benefit. It's illegal, point blank, for us to do that. I understand your passion, and I don't want to sound like I'm, being flippant towards you. I am not at all. This is with all due respect. You mentioned getting an attorney. I suggest you probably look into it. Because I know I've been here this is my 21st year on council. And we've dealt with property issues a lot in this village. And it always comes down to the same thing, that is private property, you cannot do it. And unfortunately, this is private property. If it were if it were village's property, a road, we would be doing it.
Right.
But legally speaking, everybody up here and our attorney will tell you, we can't go on private property to do, that would be like me asking Rob to fix something in my backyard.
Yeah, but you do.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you plow it and you fill holes in it, so that's.
Not in my backyard.
In this road he's talking about. So I have a quick
Go ahead.
question about like legality here.
Yes,
and right of way and all that.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not paying the owner, he could probably say, hey, you're not allowed on my property, and then I can't get out to Alexander. So like, what does that look like?
I have no idea. That's something as a homeowner, if I were purchasing your house, I would look into that
Yeah.
for my own.
Real quick.
Go ahead. And we have to, I'm sorry these aren't the answers you want and, but in about 2 minutes, we have to break for the COW. And you're welcome to stay for the COW, and there's also other business in that we can continue if you'd like.
Nick, real quick, the legal side of it, if you were to hire an attorney, you have a road there for 50 years, you would have a prescriptive easement to drive on it, that private road. It's a prescriptive, because it's been there for 50 years.
Can you define that real quick?
Say again?
I don't know what that means. Can you
It
define
just means that it's an easement that you've utilized or the homeowner has utilized for access to their home for that amount of time. It's a prescriptive easement. But I mean, you're right in your thinking. It's like it is its own property. Like I said, it's its own privately held property. As far as, and I understand the frustration, I do. But as far as tax being paid, I just put $400 of stone in there to patch the holes. I'm not doing that for the resident on Walton or Alexander. The taxes that are paid by the homeowner pay for the safety services of the police, ambulance services, and everything else, which for the tax and assessed value for those houses back there, Village of Walton Hills is receiving about $200 or less from each home. So that's what you get.
Insult.
You get, what's that?
Insult.
It's, go ahead, Mr. Calvin.
That's what you get. That, you get safety services. You get the
What
recreation
he's
part.
saying is the breakdown of where your tax dollars go, that your taxes that are paid to Cuyahoga County, once all of the other entities that get a portion of your taxes, it's the smallest portion of your collected taxes comes to Walton Hills. That's what he's saying about the $200.
It's
It
about,
goes to Tri-C, Metro Parks, library system, school systems,
totally
all of
understand.
that. The smallest portion that actually comes back to where you live would be about that 200.
5.5%.
That's what he's trying to say.
the village receives about $16, $18 for every 100,000 that your home is
So this has
valued.
been private property since day one, since the very first.
Yes.
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 Okay.
If I could, the way I kinda, and I feel your pain, I do.
No,
But
really,
the way I can't.
No, you
I
really
understand, I understand what you're saying, but the way it took me to internalize what this is, it would be like we talked about, another development that's gonna be paid this year, and maybe there was some money put in the escrow or something back in the day. In any residential development where the houses go up and people are gonna move in, the laying out of the road has to meet that code, and it's the responsibility of the developer. This just happens to be an undeveloped road that is owned by a developer per se. It's the same thing.
So I just
Although
want-
it's 50 years later, it's the same thing.
I just want to get back to, just so it's clear for everyone here, like, can the property owner take any recourse against us if we're not paying him his
I
$150?
can't speak to that.
for what I understand, he has like no right to ask for that. If this is.
I don't know how your funds work or what, I have no
I
idea.
mean, why should I trust
I
some
do
guy
know
that I'm-
from somebody that I've spoken with, there are bylaws. I do know that, whether you have a copy of them or not, you should get a copy. I have no idea what they say, but there are bylaws to that property.
Unfortunately, we weren't copied on that.
No, we have
Because
no- we
were
have no-
copied. The bylaws that I researched, like I said I would, the only bylaws I have are for Notting Hill. I was copied on Notting Hill, I have nothing else in our, we have Laserfish that goes back to the beginning, and that's all I have is Notting Hill.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I would like to say I do honestly understand what you're going through and the frustration with it. 2 reasons. Every time that I've campaigned, I've gone to every house down there and wondered, my God, am I gonna back out of this driveway into this pond? Okay? And number 2, when I first bought my home on Alexander, I had a dirt driveway. I hated it. It took me 15 years to save up to get it, and I kissed the contractor when it was finished. So I do really understand, and I wish there was something more that we could do. I'm sure any of us would be willing to help you in any way that we can, because it sounds to me like this is something between you guys and that terrace. It really does. And I'm sorry, but if there is anything we can do, please, we will help you.
On my behalf, thank you for answering. all
Oh,
my
thank you,
questions.
sir. Thank you all for taking your time out and coming here tonight. I know it's not the answer you wanted. So, it's 9 minutes after 7. Do we have any other business?
No,
No.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Allen, seconded by Mr. Whedon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 ayes approved. Meeting adjourned at 7:09. 9 adjournment. Speakers are off.